Hey there, Kenneth French of Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. We're very, very happy you stopped by. Either you're going to watch this or listen to this because you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably an entrepreneur who's either just starting out or you've been around for quite a while and you want to take your business to the next level. You're probably a real estate investor, maybe even a real estate agent, maybe a professional or of some sort, professional advisor of some sort. And well, you are stopping by because you need some valuable advice from one of the top industry leaders there is. Anyway, thank you very much. Once again, Kenneth French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Really glad you stopped by. We are going to be hanging out with the coach of coaches, Eric Brewer, who's going to add some value to you guys, the listeners, the viewers who are trying to take their assets to the next level to become big and rich as the next Google founder. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything better. Eric, what's going on, buddy?
How are you, man? Good to see you.
It's going to be good. You know why? Because obviously you've done so many things in your short life, and you're going to be adding value to so many people out there based on our half an hour we're going to be hanging out. So thanks for hanging out with us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no sweat.
How about this? Just give us one tip. Give us one tip as an entrepreneur, as a real estate investor, to take our business, our assets to the next level.
I would say, as an entrepreneur, business owner, how to take your business to the next level is to, at some point, you have to pivot your focus from doing the thing, whatever that is, rentals, buying homes, flipping homes, raising money, buying apartments. And you have to pivot to developing people, recruiting people, retaining people that do the thing.
Yeah, you always have to be, I would say, quick in your feet to be able to figure it out, because there's no real instruction book for, being an entrepreneur and taking it to the next level.
There's a couple books out there, but you have to read like 30 of them and
Yeah.
take the best parts out of all 30 to figure out which ones actually apply to you. And so, yeah, there's not an owner's manual. There's a lot of
Right.
hints and clues out there, but no actual owner's manual.
And you're the guy to come to. I mean, obviously you have a big name in the industry, in the coaching industry, and also in the real estate industry. So why don't you go a little bit into your background, because I think it's a unique background.
Yeah, I guess the quick version would be I was almost a high school dropout. I like barely graduated high school. Didn't really have any direction when I got out of school. Just knew I didn't want to go to college. Put a pin in that what I just said for a second, because when I get to the end of the story, that'll be a funny thing to look back on. Um, Ended up in the U.S. Army. It's just kind of a lost soul looking for a place to call home and a group of people to team up with. And my dad and grandfather were military, so went to the U.S. Army, did my time in the U.S. Army, came home. Didn't really have a skill that applied to civilian life, so I ended up taking a $7 an hour job parking cars at a dealer. I worked really hard. I was respectful. I showed up early, stayed late at this $7 an hour job, and got a couple promotions until I ended up in sales. And then I was the number one salesperson 30 consecutive months,
Oh,
got promoted to management, did really well in management, spent 8 years in the car business. And when I left, I was like the number three at a huge Toyota franchise. Um, Got burned out. Really, just the car business will just grind you down. And I was about to have my first child back then, so I just knew I couldn't keep working 75 hours a week, and that environment just wasn't. It's not where I wanted to spend my time anymore. So I got out. Ended up getting a job as a mortgage broker. Did that for about a year, and got contacted by my old boss at the car dealership who had sold the Toyota dealership. Got in real estate and called me and asked me if I wanted to partner in real estate. So in February of 2006, I partnered up with my longtime mentor, and we started flipping houses. We did 70 deals our first year, 100 deals our second year, and then 200 deals forever. Currently, we do about 450 real estate transactions a year. We have a team of about 44 people, and we do a little bit of everything. So,
holy man!
the final part about there that I want to recall, as I said, like I knew for certain I didn't want to go to college when I graduated, is 60 days ago, I enrolled in Valor Christian College, and I am currently a full-time student.
You
So
serious? Are you a
about
freshman?
yeah, 2 weeks after my 50th birthday, I enrolled in college. So
No way, that's awesome. You've done a
told you.
lot. That's cool. I personally don't care about credentials whatsoever, which I probably should, but at the same time, that's cool. That shows that you don't need a college or maybe even a high school education. You know what I mean? That's a cool little story.
Yeah.
And then here you are going back to school, but you're obviously one who likes to question, likes to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So wait a minute. So wow, that's really cool. By the way, I always forget. How does someone get a hold of you if they're interested in learning about your coaching or your philosophy, etc.?
The best way to just keep tabs on me is on Instagram or Facebook. And you can find me on either one of those at Eric Brewer Invest.
I got it. How do we spell that?
ERCERIC
Mhm.
BREWER Invest.
Okay. Okay. Wow, you're a humble little guy. I can tell. Give us a little. I know you got some accolades there. Give us a little bit more about some of the things you've done, some of the awards you've gotten, so to provide some credibility, a little bit of context as to what you have going on now.
Um, I don't know about awards. Like, I'll go a different direction.
Okay, let's do it.
I think the awards I have are the 45 lives that I'm responsible for,
Mhm.
our employees. I think the world and God has awarded we with 6 beautiful children.
Yeah.
Um, I think an award is that at the age of 50 years old, I'm in the best physical shape, mental, spiritual, emotional shape of my life. When in a time where that feels harder and harder, I think each day with just the way that social media, the world works, it can be a challenge some days to just stay pleased. Uh,
Yeah.
and I'm just super optimistic about the future. I don't think there's ever been a better time to be alive. There's no shortage of opportunity. I feel extremely blessed that I've been through what I've been through and came out the other side to survive. I mean, getting in the business in 2006, you can imagine 2 years into real estate, I got the door slammed in my face. And at the time, man, that felt like a curse, but it turned out to be a blessing because every year since that has been easy compared to 2008 and 9.
There's no doubt. That was a
So
huge barrier. Yeah.
if you look at, maybe some of the less humble ways of explaining accolades or accomplishments, we've done about over 5,000 real estate deals. I own just over 114 doors. Um, we operate in three, really four markets: Harrisburg market, which is Central PA, the capital; Pittsburgh, which is home of the Steelers;
Mhm.
Philadelphia market, home of the Eagles; and we've recently gone into Baltimore, which is just south of where we are in Maryland. So we have a pretty broad reach. And then we also have a coaching company I'd mentioned to you earlier. I was sort of the innovator about 6 years ago with Novations. It's a sort of a well kept real estate secret that I sort of, some people will tell you I created it. My nickname online for several years between like 2020 and 2022, when I started sharing this and teaching it, was the king of Novations. And that was something that really changed and impacted the real estate industry as we know it right now.
Hmm.
Nobody even knew what the heck that was until I started teaching it about 5 years ago, and now it's like normal practice in
Mhm.
dozens of markets across the U.S. Um, so we probably have one of the larger real estate operations in the country.
Yeah, you do. It sounds like you like football towns.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Um, so wait a minute. So let's dive into that a little bit deeper. So obviously, you're a real estate guy. You're well known in that realm, the East Coast. So what do you, I'll be kind of simple. What do you think mm, really does it take to make a good real estate investment for you?
I mean, I think the easiest answer has got to be a good deal.
When you buy. Yep.
Yeah, and there's a thousand ways that people say that. They said it in the car business. You make your money when you buy the car.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, but I think a better follow-up question to that would be, how do I actually get a good deal?
Exactly. I was just about to say that. Thank you. You know exactly what I'm going to ask. Yeah.
You don't really grow on trees anymore. I tell you what, in 2008 they did.
Oh yeah, because the market went down. So,
Oh my lord. But my skill set had to drastically change around. So I saw in 2006, it was bananas, right? Like real estate was just printing money. I saw a meme the other day. It reminds me of 2006. It was like God invented real estate so that stupid people can get rich too.
nah. And
And that reminds me of 2006. I mean, I remember, the real estate market was just frantic. It was just everybody was winning. And then like a emergency brake, a car hitting a brick wall, like the market collapsed, and there was all these guys that I remember that were real estate investors, real estate agents, and especially mortgage lenders that were driving Ferraris and flying in helicopters. And next thing you know, they were bussing tables at Haas's.
yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
and I was like, holy smokes. And then the real estate market got really tricky. Right. And then as the dust settled, it was like, hey, man, if you were able to make it through like that 6-12 month crash and you had some money, which I was very fortunate because my mentor had exited and sold a Toyota dealership. So he was very liquid and
Mhm.
aggressive. He was liquid and he was gutsy. So we had money and we were out there buying deals, which was like a crazy thing to do in 2008 and 9.
Yeah, but you're supposed to buy low. What you did was the right thing, and that was smart.
I mean,
Partnering with a partner like that.
yeah, but that's like most of the people that know that are your and I's age. So like, right, 25 years ago, well, 17 years ago, I didn't know that yet.
Huh.
I was just responding every day to what the market was giving me. It was like, okay, well, that's no longer a deal. I got to get a little bit cheaper. Let me try and get a better deal. But anyway, around 2013, it started to change where I mean, literally between 2009 and 2013, I was buying 300 homes a year off the MLS at 40 cents on the dollar.
Yeah, yeah. I
Really
love
easy to
that.
buy off the MLS and auction sites and HUD, and it was tricky to sell. You had to be good at construction. You had to be good at selling your properties, right? You had to be good at that.
Yep.
Then around 2012, 2013, it started to get hard again to buy stuff. Like people had gotten back in the market. There was more liquidity out there. Some hard money lenders, institutional lenders started getting back into real estate lending. And I had to learn how to kind of recreate ourselves, which if you look at our business now, we spend about $250,000 a month in marketing to generate leads from sellers. And then we invest a ton of money, time, focus, and training in our sales process
Mhm.
to help us convert. So we're really good and work hard at marketing to get leads. And then we
Mm,
really work hard at sales to convert leads.
mhm,
Goes back to I think what you and I were talking about is like how do you get a good deal?
mhm.
So
It
you got to know how to get leads. There's 1,000 ways to do that, and then you got to be a good salesperson. You got to understand how to take a seller through a process that would make them want to sell you their house for like half of what it's worth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So obviously, you're not only a real estate guy. Let's talk about your coaching because obviously that's going to help someone to take their assets to the next level, their net worth to the next level, or whatever. So tell me a little bit more about your coaching, your philosophy. Maybe finding deals, helping people to be
Yeah,
able to sell, et cetera, et cetera.
yeah. Thanks for asking. I love talking about that stuff. So we have really two groups of coaching. There's groups of coaching where people are we're coaching the actual business owner who's generating leads, meeting with sellers, uh, s- having sales conversations with sellers, buying the homes, selling the homes,
Mhm,
renovating the homes. And then there's people that over time have created a business where they have people that do those things for them. So we have a group of
mhm,
people that we actually teach how to generate leads, how to have good sales conversations that help you buy properties at discounted values and then get them renovated and get them sold and make a lot of money. And
mhm.
other, what I would consider a more senior, experienced group where we teach them how to build a business that does that for you. And they're, by the way, two completely different skill sets.
Well,
Running a construction project and running a construction company, while they seem similar, the roles and responsibilities and the skills that you need are much different. One is a very
Mhm.
labor intensive management process. The other one is very much leadership strategic process.
I totally know what you're saying by that. I mean, someone could be a great sales guy or girl, but they might not be able to run a company, and they're thrown into the situation of how to run a company. I mean, it's totally different. And obviously, you've done very well at both. So, all right. So, what's one example where you've totally turned around, let's say a CEO, or I don't know, if you do that, deal with CEOs, but an entrepreneur, and they're in a horrible situation, and you've completely turned their situation around.
Yeah. There's a handful of examples actually. We're in a couple different mastermind groups, and we're blessed to be able to coach and help a lot of clients inside of those groups. And this past meeting at a mastermind called Collective Genius, they had invited a few uh, clients of ours to talk about marketing, what we call lead management, which is really inside sales. It's like telemarketing, and then sales on the back end, like the people that actually go out and buy and sell real estate. And inside of these communities, myself and my partner Joe and Benmont, we've been given the nickname as the funnel fixers. And
Mm.
what they mean is in sales funnels, anytime something breaks, like the whole thing goes to crap, right? It's like if your timing belt goes out on your car, it stops running. If your sales funnel breaks, your company, I don't care if you sell football helmets or houses or insurance, if your sales funnel breaks, your business is in jeopardy. So we often come out to companies and we spend 2 days and we go through their funnel and we find where it's broken. We identify, present, and get them to agree on what the fix is. We then show them what the outcome would be in revenue and culture and net income by making that repair. And then we establish milestones for who and by when those things will be fixed. And then we coach them through that process, which is normally about a 90-day process. And one of those examples, which were very similar across all three, one of those clients that we just met with, it was probably 2 months ago, um, cut their leads in half after meeting with us and doubled their income in a matter of 4 months.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. So they had all, why you go, well, why would I want to cut more leads? Well, because they had a break in their funnel, there was good leads that were coming in that weren't getting converted. They were falling out. So they kept just adding more leads in. Well, but they were budget conscious, so they didn't add expensive lead. They added cheap leads, and cheap leads are generally pretty crappy, which requires a bunch of people because you have to call them and call them and call them and call them and call them. So then their expenses went up because they spent more on marketing and they spent more on personnel, and then everybody kind of hated their job because they were spending a ton of time talking to crappy leads. So even when they got a good lead, they didn't convert them because their salespeople were burned out and had a bad attitude. So
Mm.
that's how quickly one little thing can break your sales funnel, and it starts to impact really important stuff like your culture and your ability to recruit and retain talent. So we went in and helped them fix that. We got rid of the bad leads. We refocused everybody on the qualified leads. We retrained their sales staff on how to convert those leads. And literally in 90 days, they doubled their income.
Ooh, that sounds that's the way to go, actually. Yeah, there's no better example. Nice work. There's no better example of success than that, turning someone's business around. So, wow. How about this? What's one thing then you wish you would have done, not to that engagement, obviously, but to another engagement that you think could have added value to another client, maybe similar to that? So I'm looking for kind of the downside, maybe a regret that you did somewhere along the way with respect to a client. There's a reason I'm
I
asking.
think, and it's a really, really, really insightful question. Thanks for asking because it challenges me to,
All right, that's what I'm trying to do on that,
I
yeah.
mean,
So we can see
you
how
know,
you think.
um, what's the analogy where it says that, if you feed somebody a fish, you feed them for a day. If you teach them to fish, you feed them for a lifetime.
Yep, yep.
When I think in a perfect world, and this may sound crazy because, effectively these companies wouldn't need us, is instead of fixing their funnel, what I'm hoping to be able to do is create a curriculum and a program and a book
Mm,
and a set of social media content where I teach them how to not let their funnel break.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because normally when people get to us is because they've been working at it for 3 to 6 months. Their backs against the wall. They're working really hard. They've maybe lost some key people or are in danger of losing key people, and their profits have shrunk, and they're frustrated and they're losing hope, and they go looking for help. So we're very fortunate to be able to, if you can imagine someone that's feeling like that and their profits double in 90 days, they are a very loyal, thankful customer.
Mhm.
However, I don't love getting those phone calls from people that are stressed.
Yeah.
An opportunity, and it's amazing that we're able to fix those situations and turn those things around. But I would rather be a little bit more proactive about it, and have us figure out a better way for us to teach how to avoid those situations and then how to fix them, because it does. The reality is you won't be able to avoid it. Things happen. Sales funnels breaks, and what we do today isn't going to hold up forever. Like, there's going to be something else that changes in the market, or changes with interest rates, or changes with your personnel, or changes with your customers, that you'll have to make that change over and over and over again. So I wish we were a little bit better about teaching people how to be proactive about reducing um, issues, but then also making it possible for them to fix it on their own.
Yeah, that's I know it's a tough question. So you provide a really good answer. What us personally here at vastsolutionsgroup.com, what we try to do is really instill a culture of AI. Obviously, because we were built basically on AI years ago. And so our thought is, well, if you could build in AI to your situation, to your system, even if something's broken, usually it can figure out some solution. But anyway, I digress. So then what about also on the real estate side? Obviously, we talked about coaching, but what about on the real estate side? Do you have a situation where, you've totally turned someone's life around in real estate? Let's say they owned one house, they were taking doing mass work and driving to the ground. All of a sudden you had a solution. All of a sudden now they own thousands of houses and they're really rich because of you. By the
I'm
way,
not,
I'm happy.
what's that?
I said I'm half kidding, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Um, Ask the question again.
Do you have a solution or a situation for a client who was struggling in real estate, and because of something you did, you turned their life around and also turned their, let's say, their net worth around based on some of the suggestions you provided to them as a real estate investor? Because you're also known as a real estate investor. So I'm just trying to see how you think, and maybe the people out there can see how you think, etc.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I'm most proud of is we have customers that we buy homes from, or investors that we sell properties to, or people that we lent money to, that has changed their life. Um, but the thing that I'm most passionate about is the people that matter the most to me, and those are my family
Mm,
and my employees.
yeah.
I spend more time with them, and there's one gentleman who's been with me about 10 years, and he came to me after working a couple like retail jobs, management jobs, and he had been moved around to like different stores and different shifts, where like one job he's working from 7 to 3, and then this other management job in retail he's working from 3 to midnight, and like
Mm.
he just felt unfulfilled. And while he was making good money, he just had this nagging suspicion that he could do a little bit better. And this gentleman's name is Fernando Vaughn, or they call him Ferdy. He's been with me 10 years. And we first met where we coached our kids together in youth football. So we became friends. And he came to me and he's like, "Man, I want to learn real estate." And I spent 2 hours with him one day and just gave him a bunch of tips. And then I ended up selling him his first rental, and he like bought it, and he renovated it, and he stabilized it. And then he went to the bank and he got a loan, and he cashed out like 25 grand. And he was like, "What? Like, what just happened? I literally bought this house for 32. I did a $5,000 paint job, and the bank gave me 60 grand." And next thing I know, he's like, "Hey man, are you hiring?" And so we talked through that, and um he came to work for me, and I hired him as a real estate agent. And he was I would just give him leads, and he would go work with buyers and sell them homes. And then eventually I trained him on how to underwrite properties and how to know what a good deal was and negotiate with sellers. So flash forward, he texted me a picture of him and his daughter at a Tennessee football game the other day. And he said, "Hey, boss, just wanted to share with you a meaningful moment. You constantly remind me of what my why is." It's something we talk about here all the. He said, "As I surprised my daughter and her roommate today with Tennessee tickets, which, by the way, went to overtime against Georgia this past week. It was an
Oh,
amazing football game." He said, "The look on her face was priceless. I love you, man."
oh,
And then he goes, "I've always discussed about how you changed my life financially." He goes, "Little did I know that was just the beginning." So that's a freaking text message from him, right? Saturday at 1:44 p.m. And when I hired that guy, he was always running like a week late on his payments. And he was always just, as a landlord, we call him profitably late, where he
yeah,
would be late enough where there was a late fee, but early enough that it didn't get into collections.
yeah.
And he smoked, he was overweight. Now he's fit. He owns like 25 rentals. He's got a bunch of money in the bank. He lives in a nice big house. His kids are in college. Everything about his life has changed. And it's just the result of him doing the things that we make available here, which we have company paid exercise, fitness programs. We teach people how to invest in real estate. We lend them money. We help them find deals. We require that we read a book every month as a company. Um,
Mm.
he's just done those things, over the course of the 10 years that he's been here, and he's reaping the benefits. So that's an example of something I'm incredibly proud of and just very fortunate to be a part of.
Brewer's a good guy, man. Nice work. Yeah, that's a killer story. Um, Getting ready to close doors here, but so how about this? What's the future? What's the future of you on the coaching side, the real estate side, and also you?
Um, so the coaching side is what we found is our sales curriculum. We do sales training. So one of the things we do is we just teach people how to be better at sales. And so at ramprei.com, if somebody's looking to get better at sales, I think it's like $1,000 a month. They can get into our sales training and they get live coaching and training every week. Most weeks there's more than two phone calls, and access to hundreds of videos that they can go in and their team and just get better at sales.
Hmm.
The second thing is what we've noticed is we do a lot of leadership business consulting where someone was a great salesperson and now they want to own a real estate sales company. They don't want to be the person that's responsible for making all the money every day. And they need to learn how to hire and fire and coach and train and set up processes. So we teach people how to go from a hustle to a business and be an actual business owner, which means you make money without doing work. That's really what owning a business should be, right? It's one of the benefits to having rentals is you should make money at some point without having to physically get up and go to work every day.
Hmm.
And then the third thing is we do a lot of like one-on-one team coaching, where we actually manage people's businesses for them. So we call those growth partners,
Hmm.
where people come to us and they're good at sales and they're good at construction. But I can tell you, like 70% of business owners I meet, their biggest problem is managing people.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
we try and coach them and teach them how to do it. And they go, you know what? That sounds great, but I don't want to do it. So we actually partner with operators
Oh.
in markets where we run things like marketing, leadership, sales management, and they get to do one or two things that they're great at that they love to do, and we actually merge and become business partners, and
Hmm.
they get a lot of their life back. They generally make the same, if not more money, and they have a tremendous amount. So I think the thing I'm really excited about,
Hmm.
we have about 5 of those growth partners right now, where we take on a lot of the responsibility that keeps them up at night, and we do a good job and we grow their bottom line and both of us win. So I'm super excited about that on the education side.
That's cool. That's really cool because, like, they might be whatever good at selling widgets or good at producing widgets, but they might not like all the other stuff. And you
Right.
sounds like you guys have a fit there.
Yeah. Um, well, our business side, we're going to expand into 10 different markets
Awesome.
So from Pittsburgh, we'll probably go to Eastern Ohio. From Baltimore, we'll go down deeper into Maryland. And east, we'll expand in the Philadelphia area, potentially over to Jersey. So by the end of 2027, our company, Integrity First Home Buyers, will be operating in 10 markets. I anticipate we'll be doing about 1,000 real estate deals a year and generating about $20 million in net profit a year.
Oh, that's nice. Holy mackerel. Coach of coaches comes through. Nice. So wait a minute. Before I forget, again, how does someone get a hold of you if they're interested about any of those
Yeah.
services?
Two places. You can find me on social media, Instagram and Facebook. It's Eric Brewer on Facebook. It's EricBrewer. On Instagram, I am Eric Brewer Invest, EricBrewer Invest. Or if you want to learn more about our coaching programs or where you can partner with us, go to RAMPREI.com.
Nice. Nice job. It's been a pleasure. There's no doubt that you're going to be a fit for some of the people who are out there. I mean, please, if you're out there watching, listening, please do get a hold of Eric. I think he adds value. He's a good guy. Anyone can handle 6 kids. Total stud right there, right? Um,
My wife does all that work. I just,
yeah, I know.
yeah,
I get it.
yeah, I get to take a little bit of credit, but she deserves it all.
Totally get it. Well, once again, thank you, everyone. This is Ken French, Vast Voice, telling business secrets to entrepreneurs. Thanks, everybody.